Chosen one. Heaven has interrupted your timeline. Everything that once felt delayed, forgotten, or sabotaged has just been caught in a divine pause. You may not see it yet, but in the unseen realm, the order has been issued. Every lie spoken against you is about to crumble. The rumors, the whispers, the deliberate misrepresentations, they have reached their expiration date in heaven's court. You have wondered why God stayed silent. You asked, why didn't he stop them when they twisted my name? But listen carefully. Sometimes heaven allows the storm to fully form so that the exposure carries weight. If the wind had never blown, the house of lies would have remained standing. But now, the wind of truth is stirring, and its first target is every false foundation built against you. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." Those are not poetic words, they are a legal decree. Heaven is not negotiating with darkness. Heaven is enforcing righteousness. Every tongue that rose against you, every accusation that slithered through hidden conversations, God has counted them. He did not forget your silence when you could have retaliated. He did not overlook the nights you cried out quietly, choosing peace instead of revenge. There was once a young woman, let's call her Arala. She served faithfully in her community, poured her time and strength into people who later turned their backs on her. They whispered that she was prideful, that she had hidden motives. She withdrew, thinking her light had offended them. For months, she prayed in silence, feeling heaven's silence in return. Then one morning, something shifted. The same people who lied about her began to argue among themselves. Secret surfaced. The truth unfolded like dawn, breaking over a storm-torn field. Without lifting a single hand, she was vindicated. That day, she understood. God had not forgotten. He had been building her testimony. You, too, are standing in that moment. Chosen one. It feels like you're between exposure and restoration. But heaven calls this place the turning point. The same voices that tried to bury you will soon have to witness your rising. The very soil that covered you will become the ground from which your promise grows, like a seed that disappears in the dark. You have not been buried, you have been planted. Heaven is not reacting, heaven is revealing. What you thought was delay was divine choreography. God positioned every misunderstanding, every silence, every false word, to create a contrast so strong that when truth emerges, no one will be able to deny it. And while the world has been talking, heaven has been writing. Your name has been written in light, not on paper, not in rumor, but in eternity. The voice of God has declared, enough. The time of slander has ended. You are about to see what it means when heaven defends you, not by argument, not by public debate, but by demonstration. The same way the Red Sea silenced Pharaoh, your deliverance will silence accusation. Listen, this is not the moment to shrink back. This is the moment to lift your head. You have endured fire. Now you will shine. You have been misunderstood. Now you will be magnified. Every lie was a brushstroke in the portrait of your destiny. And when the truth comes, it won't come quietly. It will arrive like thunder rolling across dry land, like a dawn that cannot be stopped. The voices that gossiped will fall silent, not out of fear of you, but out of awe at the way God defended you without your words. Chosen one. Don't waste time replaying their betrayal. Focus on the crown being fitted over your head. You're not being restored to where you were. You're being elevated to where you should have been all along. This is the beauty of divine timing. It redeems lost seasons. If you are feeling this deep in your spirit right now, pause it. Breathe. Whisper this truth. I am defended by heaven. You were not chosen to fight every battle in words. You were chosen to stand still and watch God prove himself faithful. The lies were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal who you truly are when fire meets gold. So today, if this word resonates in your soul, let it mark you. Tap like. Share this with someone who needs to hear that truth always rises. And subscribe if your heart knows this message was sent in divine timing. Your agreement is a signal to heaven that you are ready for vindication. Comment below the number 777 as a sign that you surrender your reputation into God's hands, trusting him to restore what no man can rebuild. The storm is over. The light is breaking through. Every lie is crumbling right now, under the weight of truth. Chosen one. There are whispers that have followed you into the night, conversations carried out behind closed doors, where your name became a currency of envy, words stitched together by jealousy and misunderstanding. They thought you would never hear them, but heaven has heard every syllable. Nothing uttered in secret escapes divine attention. There's a sound that fills the unseen realm when lies are spoken, a faint vibration, like glass cracking under pressure. It begins quietly, but heaven records it. For every false witness, for every manipulative word twisted against you, there is a record, and now those records are trembling. Whispers in the dark are powerful only when the listener fears them. You have outgrown that fear. Once, you tried to defend yourself. Once, you thought silence meant defeat. But now you are learning that silence is not weakness, it is alignment. When heaven defends, you need not speak. You remember the sting of those words, how they traveled faster than truth, how people who once embraced you began to pull away. They didn't ask questions, they believed the noise. It's a lonely thing, to be judged by stories you never told. But let me tell you a secret about divine justice. It moves slowly because it moves perfectly. God allows the lie to echo, not because he ignores it, but because he intends to let the sound expose itself. Every echo eventually meets a wall of truth. When it does, it collapses. Imagine a candle flickering in a sealed jar. The flame consumes the oxygen of its own deception until it dies. That is how lies end. They burn quickly, feeding on curiosity and gossip. But when the air of truth is sealed around them, they suffocate. There was a man named Elior. He worked in a small ministry, overlooked, unseen, and often dismissed. He loved deeply and served faithfully. Yet one day, someone accused him of stealing funds. The community turned against him before evidence could even speak. He was broken, but chose silence. For months, the lie flourished. Then, an audit revealed not only his innocence, but also the deceit of the accuser. Those who once avoided him now stood in shame. And Elior? He didn't gloat. He simply said, the truth needed time to breathe. No, you see, heaven uses time as its courtroom. Every second is a witness. Every delay is a gathering of evidence. What feels like abandonment is actually investigation, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 19. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. The endurance of truth is not measured by applause, it's measured by silence. When everyone stops speaking, truth still stands. It outlasts trends, rumors, and manipulation. And while they plotted in the shadows, heaven was arranging your public restoration. Do not waste your breath chasing correction. Those who spoke lies will see them unravel. The words they threw like stones are already falling back into their own hands. The same voice that misrepresented you will one day have to say your name with honor again. Whispers cannot destroy what God has already established. They may delay recognition, but they cannot cancel calling. What is written about you in heaven carries more authority than anything said about you on earth. There is a sacred quietness that settles over those who are falsely accused. It is not weakness, it is the shadow of divine defense. The longer the silence, the louder the revelation will be when God speaks. You are not forgotten. Chosen one. The whispers were not your downfall, they were your signal. Heaven only allows exposure when promotion is near. If they are talking more, it means the stage is being prepared. The louder the rumor, the nearer the revelation. So, walk with dignity. Let your composure be your sermon. Let your peace confuse your enemies. The time is coming when you won't even need to tell your side of the story. Your life will speak for you. Every whisper that rose against you is losing its strength now. Every hidden conversation is reaching its divine limit. When the light of truth floods in, darkness cannot argue. It can only flee. Hold still. Don't defend yourself. Don't look back. The truth is walking toward you. And when it arrives, it will not knock. It will enter like morning light through an open window. Let peace be your proof. The same hands that were raised against you will soon tremble in realization. You will not need to remind them of what they said. Their own conscience will echo louder than your voice ever could. Truth is already standing at your door. When it enters, every shadow bows. Chosen one. The weight you carried silently did not go unnoticed. Every sleepless night, every tear you hid behind a practiced smile was seen and remembered. Heaven has recorded it all not as weakness, but as proof of your endurance. You have walked through a valley of accusation with no one beside you but God. And that is exactly why the coming vindication will be undeniable. Some people only see strength when it roars, but yours whispered. You didn't shout when you were misunderstood. You kept walking. You didn't argue when they twisted your motives. You kept serving. That kind of restraint is not natural. It is spiritual maturity forged in fire. There was a season when you questioned whether your silence meant surrender. But the truth is, silence was your shield. While others spoke to be heard, you listened to be healed. Every word you didn't say became a seed planted in heaven's soil. And now, those seeds are breaking through the ground. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms. Chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. End of that verse isn't a comfort blanket, it's a prophecy. It means that no matter how many lies surrounded you, deliverance was always woven into your story. You were never meant to stay crushed beneath accusation. You were being refined beneath it. Imagine this. A blacksmith watches the flame rise as he places the metal in fire. Every spark looks violent, But the craftsman smiles because he knows the fire is not destroying, it's shaping. That's what happened to you. The heat of betrayal, the friction of falsehoods, the sting of rejection, they didn't deform you, they defined you. One night, when you couldn't sleep, you asked heaven, "Why do I have to go through this?" And though no voice answered, peace settled in your chest. That peace was God's whisper, saying, "Because I am building something in you that no storm can take away." Sen, you've seen how people change when rumors circulate. Some distance themselves quietly. Others watch from afar, curious to see if you'll fall. But here's the miracle: they watched. And yet you didn't fall. You didn't lose your faith, your integrity, or your compassion. You kept showing up with grace. That confuses darkness, because darkness doesn't understand how light can remain calm while surrounded by shadows. Chosen one, your silence has been your sermon. Your endurance has been your declaration. And your humility, your refusal to fight back with bitterness, has become the loudest evidence that heaven's mark is upon you. Even now, there are people realizing the truth about you. Not because you defended yourself, but because God has begun to reveal your heart. Conversations are shifting. The same mouths that repeated lies are starting to say, "Maybe we were wrong." Oh, don't let pride rise when that happens. Keep your posture low, your heart soft. Remember, vindication is not about revenge, it's about restoration. The moment you see justice, remember that mercy carried you here. And when your season of silence ends, your story will comfort others walking through the same valley. You'll look them in the eyes and say, "I know what it feels like to be falsely accused, but I also know how it feels to be delivered." Oh, you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being written into a greater testimony, one that cannot be edited by human hands. If this word finds you where words have failed before, write in the comments, "Truth stands tall." Oh, that simple phrase is more than text. It's your flag planted on the battlefield. It says, "I will not bow to lies. I will not shrink under slander. I will stand tall with the truth that never bends." When you type it, heaven sees your declaration and strengthens your footing. The world may not remember every rumor, but it will see the result, your rising. You have carried the weight silently, but heaven has always been speaking your name loudly. And now, the silence is turning into a song of victory. Truth does not rush. It walks with certainty, knowing that time itself bends to serve it. When you hold to it, you walk in rhythm with heaven's heartbeat, steady, unshakable, unstoppable. Your vindication will not arrive with noise, but with clarity. When it comes, even silence will testify. Every misunderstanding will dissolve like mist under morning light, revealing the strength of your quiet faith. And when that moment arrives, stand still, breathe it in. You will understand why you had to wait, because God was not just proving your innocence. He was perfecting your spirit through the waiting. Chosen one. Heaven has opened a divine investigation. Every word, every whisper, every accusation made against you has been brought before the throne. The time for silence in heaven is over. The judge has risen from his seat, and the files of injustice are being reviewed. Nothing that was spoken falsely against you has disappeared into the air. It has been documented. And now, the scales are being balanced. In the courts of men, truth can be delayed, In the court of heaven, truth is inevitable. God does not overlook slander. He allows it to mature, so its harvest reveals itself. The moment a lie is spoken, it plants a seed, but that seed carries decay within it. In due time, it collapses under the weight of its own corruption. You may not have realized it, but all this time, heaven has been gathering evidence in your favor. Every time you held your peace instead of responding in anger, the record was marked. Every time you chose forgiveness over retaliation, heaven wrote, "Faithful." Each moment you cried privately, the sound became testimony. The unseen witnesses, angels, time, and truth have been called forward, and they are all speaking now. As the prophet Hosea declared in the sacred texts. Chapter 2, verse 21, "In that day I will respond, declares the Lord. I will respond to the skies, and they will respond to the earth." That means the heavens themselves are in conversation with your pain. When you were accused, the skies heard your silence. When you were rejected, the earth recorded your tears. And now, heaven and earth are responding in unison. The lie will meet its end. Think of it like this. When a storm brews over the ocean, the sky darkens, the waves roar, and it seems chaos rules. But deep beneath, the current remains calm. That's what heaven has been doing, working in the deep, while the surface looked wild. The chaos was loud, but the current of truth never stopped flowing beneath the noise. There's a courtroom in heaven that doesn't need lawyers. In it stands the advocate, Christ himself, pleading not with words of argument, but with scars that speak louder than every accusation. Every mark on his hands is a reminder that injustice never goes unanswered. In that courtroom, you are not the defendant, you are the defended. God is not asking you to justify yourself. He is preparing to justify you before those who judged you too quickly. What they called finished was only heaven's opening statement. You've seen people rise quickly by using your name wrongly. Some built platforms out of your pain. Others gathered approval by standing against you. But God says, "I have seen the strategy of shadows, and I am flipping the order." The same people who benefited from your silence will soon witness your restoration, not for humiliation, but for revelation, that they may know the cost of touching what was consecrated. The divine investigation isn't revenge, it's correction. Heaven does not destroy, it reveals. And revelation always separates truth from falsehood. When God exposes, He doesn't do it to embarrass, He does it to free. There's an image heaven gave me for you, a library filled with books, each representing a story told about you. Some pages are marked with lies, others with misunderstanding. But now, the author himself has entered the room. He's not burning the books, he's rewriting them. Every false paragraph is being replaced with truth. Every misused word redeemed. When this season ends, your story will read differently, not because the past changed, but because grace redefined it. And perhaps this is the lesson hidden in all your pain. God allows false reports to test your posture. Would you remain humble when accused? Would you trust divine justice when you couldn't prove your innocence? You passed the test. You refused to let bitterness rewrite your character. The investigation is nearly complete. Evidence is being sealed. Testimonies are aligning. The final verdict will not just clear your name, it will announce your next assignment. Vindication is not the end, it's the doorway to elevation. Chosen one. Understand this. The very people who doubted you were part of the prophecy. Their disbelief gave weight to the proof that's now unfolding. Heaven needed witnesses, even unwilling ones, to confirm your anointing when it shines publicly. So do not despise the delay. Justice that comes from God is never rushed. It arrives when the world least expects it, so that no one can deny who orchestrated it. Hold your peace. The heavenly gavel is about to fall, not in punishment, but in proclamation, "This one is mine." Oh, and when that declaration echoes, it won't just clear your name, it will rewrite your destiny in the hearing of heaven and earth alike. Chosen one. There comes a point when the defender steps into the room. You have spent seasons explaining yourself to deaf ears, trying to prove what heaven already settled. But now, God Himself is becoming your defense. You no longer need to argue, prove, or justify, because truth has begun to speak for you. You can feel it, can't you? The shift, the weight that once pressed on your name is lifting. It's as if the air around you is clearing after a long storm. The same voices that once twisted your story are growing quiet. The same faces that looked away are now watching again, not with accusation, but with awe. This is what happens when God defends His own. When He speaks for you, He doesn't just silence lies, He transforms the atmosphere. People sense something sacred has changed, even if they can't explain it. The same light that once made you misunderstood now makes you magnetic. The Word of God declares in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4, "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds." And you've seen this power at work already. While others used words as weapons, you carried silence as a sword. And now, truth itself has become your armor. What was meant to break you is becoming your banner. There's an old story about a shepherd who built his own sling. He didn't buy it. He crafted it with his hands, through trials and practice. When danger came, he didn't borrow Saul's armor. He used what he had shaped in the quiet. That's you. The very hardships that were meant to silence you have trained your hands for divine defense. Now, God is not just clearing your name. He's preparing to broadcast your testimony. You will stand as proof that heaven never forgets its chosen. If this message reaches your heart, take a moment to breathe and give thanks. Because right here, right now, you are living inside a miracle. Heaven is speaking for you. And if you've been walking this journey with these messages, if you've found comfort, strength, or even a small spark of hope through them, know this: you are part of something much greater than a video or a script. You're part of a movement of light bearers across the world, people who refuse to give up when life turns against them. Your presence, your comments, your listening heart, all of it helps this light reach farther. When you click like, it's as if you're striking a match in the dark, signaling heaven. The flame still burns here. When you share, you send that flame floating to another soul who's shivering in silence. And when you subscribe, you aren't following a page. You're joining a family of warriors who keep watch together while the world sleeps. And yes, for those who feel led, if this space has been a well for your soul, if these words have ever been water in your drought, you can donate to refill the well. Think of it as tending a sacred lamp that has warmed your own night. One small drop of oil keeps the fire glowing for those still searching through the fog. This is never an obligation. It's a gentle offering, a whisper of gratitude released back into the same wind that carried comfort to you. Whether you give or simply stay and listen, you are seen. You are part of the story, and heaven knows your heart. So if you feel it stirring inside you, press like. Share this with someone who needs to know they're not crazy for holding on to faith. Subscribe so you remain connected to this flow of words that strengthen you. And if grace nudges you, donate as one who places a candle upon the altar, not out of duty, but devotion. You see, this isn't about money. It's about movement, about keeping truth alive in the noise, about building an altar of words where weary hearts can rest. When you give, you don't fund a project, you extend a beam of light further into the night. Chosen one, you've walked through lies, fire, and silence, and yet you remain. That's not an accident. That's grace proving itself. Now, as you rise, let your heart stay open. What you give, what you share, what you speak, it all becomes part of the defense. Heaven is building around you. And when others ask how you made it through, you'll smile and say, because God Himself spoke for me. Olidvar, chosen one. This is the moment where you release vengeance and let heaven finish what it started. Every word spoken against you has begun to lose its grip, and every false judgment is turning to dust. You no longer need to carry the weight of proving yourself. Let it fall. Let God handle what was never yours to fix. You've carried your name like a fragile glass jar, protecting it, guarding it, hoping no one else would break it again. But heaven whispers, your name was never made of glass. It was carved in stone. No lie can shatter what was engraved by divine hands. The voice of God thundered in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 4. He is the rock. His works are perfect, and all His ways are just. A faithful God who does no wrong. Upright and just is He. Justice does not always shout it. Sometimes walks in quietly, rearranging the pieces without warning. You may wake up one morning and realize the heaviness is gone. Not because everything around you changed, but because everything within you did. You forgave. You released. You stopped chasing closure from those who can't give it. That's where freedom begins. It's not the moment your enemies apologize, it's the moment their words stop controlling your peace. The power of their lies was never in what they said, but in how deeply you believed them. Now, heaven is rewriting that belief. You are who God says you are. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man named Taran. For years, people spoke against him, accusing him of arrogance, twisting his kindness into manipulation. He spent months trying to convince others of his innocence, until one day, a mentor told him, Taran, stop defending yourself in rooms you were never invited to. Let God defend you where your voice cannot go. He obeyed. He stayed silent, worked in the unseen, and prayed for peace instead of revenge. Months later, one of his accusers publicly apologized, not because Taran confronted him, but because truth revealed itself. That day, Taran learned what you are learning now. Vindication is not won, it's given. When you release your right to revenge, you make room for restoration. Heaven can't fill a clenched fist. Let go, and you'll discover that peace doesn't wait for apologies. It grows in the soil of surrender. You may feel the urge to set things straight. to prove what's real. But every time you stay silent when falsehood speaks, you're building an altar of trust. That silence is not weakness, it's worship. You are saying, God, I believe you see what I cannot, and He does. Chosen one. Heaven is inviting you into a softer strength, the kind that doesn't break under pressure but bends gracefully. Like a tree rooted in truth. The storm can howl, but the tree that bends does not fall. You have no idea how powerful your peace has become. It's unsettling to those who expected you to fight back. They see you smiling, standing, thriving, and it confuses them. But that confusion is sacred, because it leads them to wonder what kind of strength you carry. The answer is simple: the strength of surrender. Every moment you choose forgiveness, you rise higher. Every time you refuse to curse those who wronged you, heaven writes your story with brighter ink. And now, as a prophetic act, let your comment be a signal that you are done carrying what was never yours. Type 111 below. That number is not random, it's symbolic. 100 représente divin alignement. The moment when heaven, spirit, and purpose converge. It marks a new spiritual order taking shape in your life. It means the path ahead is being cleared of confusion and false perception. When you write 111, you are declaring, I step into unity with God's justice. I walk in His timing, not my emotions. I choose peace as my proof. Oh, you are not losing by letting go, you are winning by rising above. This is not weakness, this is divine warfare fought in silence. The angels move where humility reigns. So, breathe. Exhale the pain. Inhale freedom. The lies are already collapsing under the weight of truth, and the rock beneath you remains unmoved. You are not who they said you were. You are who God has always known you to be. And now, that truth is beginning to echo louder than any accusation ever could. And when peace finally takes root, you'll understand this wasn't about proving them wrong. It was about proving heaven right. Every season of pain was positioning you, not punishing you, for a purpose too sacred to be rushed or misunderstood. Chosen one. The fire has done its work. You thought the blaze would consume you, but instead, it refined you. Every lie, every accusation, every misunderstanding has passed through the fire. And now, only truth remains. That is how God works. He allows the flame to rise, not to destroy, but to distinguish. There is something powerful about divine fire. It doesn't burn the way earthly flames do. It doesn't feed on destruction, it feeds on transformation. You've been walking through a season that felt like loss, but in reality, heaven was purifying your story. What others meant to stain you, God used to polish you. When people saw smoke, heaven saw gold. The prophet Zechariah once recorded the voice of God, saying, I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. No, this is not punishment, it's preparation. You were never meant to come out of this season the same. The fire stripped away dependence on validation, approval, and explanation. You learned that truth doesn't need to shout to survive. It simply stands, unbothered by accusation. There's a quiet kind of confidence that grows in those who've survived defamation. It's not arrogance, it's peace. You no longer chase the need to be understood because you've met the one who understands without explanation. That's the beauty of being chosen. You stop needing human applause to confirm divine purpose. Think back to the moments when the fire was hottest. Remember how certain you were that you couldn't endure another day. You prayed for escape, but heaven stayed silent. You asked for proof, but only pain answered. What you didn't realize was that silence was a forge and pain was the hammer. God was not absent. He was at work in the unseen, shaping endurance in your spirit. Sometimes fire burns so fiercely that it blinds you to the treasure being formed. But when the heat subsides, when the ashes cool, you begin to notice something gleaming where you once stood broken. That shine is not pride, it's purity. It's what happens when lies melt away and only truth remains. There's an image heaven shows of your journey, you standing in the center of a furnace, not frantic or afraid, but still. Around you, the flames dance, whispering accusations, memories, regrets, but they cannot touch your core. You realize that you've been fireproof all along. You see, divine fire doesn't destroy authenticity, it exposes it. It reveals what's real by removing what's false. Every relationship that fell away during your storm wasn't a loss, it was a revelation. The people who stayed were refined with you, and those who left were simply not designed to stand the heat of your calling. You didn't fail, you graduated. And now, something shifts inside you. The panic that once rushed through your chest has turned to stillness. The need to be vindicated has turned into peace. You have discovered what the fire came to teach. That truth doesn't defend itself. It simply endures until everything else burns away. Chosen one. Understand this, when God refines, He always restores. The fire was never the end. It was the middle. The story is not about what burned, but about what survived. Your faith, your integrity, your quiet strength. They are all evidence of what can't be consumed. In the coming days, you'll begin to notice how differently you see everything. What used to offend you will now only remind you of how much you've grown. You won't be tempted to prove yourself anymore. You'll simply walk with the quiet authority of someone who knows the truth, stands taller than gossip. And though you may still see smoke rising behind you, don't look back. It's not your job to put out fires that heaven already extinguished. Your only task now is to walk forward, carrying the glow that remains. Because that glow is holy, it's proof that you survived what was meant to silence you. The fire has done its work. You no longer carry the scent of smoke. You carry the fragrance of redemption. The same people who once questioned you will sense that something about you changed, and they will be right. You have walked through fire and learned not only to survive, but to shine. Let the flame behind you become your testimony. Let the glow within you be your defense. The fire was fierce, but your spirit was fiercer. And now, the light that emerges from your life will speak louder than any explanation ever could. You are the proof that fire refines, not ruins. Every scar now shines like scripture, evidence that grace can turn even ashes into armor. Chosen one. The time has come for those who spoke against you to see what heaven was shaping in silence. There is no need for you to defend yourself. Your transformation will do the speaking. The same mouths that declared your downfall will now bear witness to your rise, not through spectacle or revenge, but through the quiet majesty of divine justice unfolding in real time. There is a strange beauty in how truth reveals itself. It doesn't rush. It waits until the right moment, until the noise fades and the stage is clear. Then it steps forward, not to shout, but to stand. And when it stands, every false word crumbles at its feet. We find in the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7, "The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him." Oh, you trusted him when no one believed you. You held on when evidence seemed stacked against you. And now that same faith has summoned visibility. The ones who mocked you will remember every word they spoke. Not because you remind them, but because conviction will. Heaven has its own way of revealing the truth. It doesn't embarrass. It enlightens. Some of those who slandered you will approach in humility, not understanding how peace still radiates from your life after what they tried to destroy. That's the power of divine reversal. God does not repay evil with evil. He writes redemption into the very soil of what was meant to bury you. Imagine a field once filled with thorns, hostile, dry, seemingly useless. Then rain begins to fall. Soft at first, then steady. Soon, the same ground that tore your feet becomes the ground that grows your harvest. That is what's happening right now. The soil of slander is turning into the soil of testimony. It's strange how those who once dismissed you will suddenly start using your name with respect again. It's not manipulation this time, it's realization. Their hearts are being moved, not by your words, but by what God has done through you. You didn't have to retaliate. Heaven simply turned the light on. And in that light, truth became undeniable. Every misunderstanding is finding its end. The fog is lifting. The people who believed the lies will start to see fragments of the real story, piece by piece, until their own memories convict them. God does not humiliate. He educates. And through your endurance, others are learning that integrity always outlasts deceit. You may feel conflicted about this new season. A part of you still remembers the sting, the betrayal, the isolation. But God calls you to release even that. He's not just restoring your reputation, He's restoring your heart. You cannot carry bitterness into breakthrough. It will only weigh down the wings He just gave you. So when those who hurt you begin to face truth, don't rejoice in their discomfort. Let mercy be the fragrance that fills the room. You're not returning to prove a point. You're returning as proof that grace still wins. There was a woman named Leora. For years, her name was tangled in false stories. She prayed for justice. But what she didn't know was that heaven was preparing a divine unveiling. One day, during a community gathering, a man stood up and confessed that the rumors were lies. He said he couldn't sleep, that something pressed on his heart for months. When he finished speaking, all eyes turned to Leora. She didn't gloat. She didn't speak. She simply smiled through tears. Later she said, "It wasn't about them believing me. It was about me becoming free." That's the key. Chosen one. Freedom is greater than vindication. You were never called to make others see. You were called to stand in what God already saw. And yet, your elevation will speak loudly enough for those who doubted. They will see the doors opening, the opportunities multiplying, and the peace radiating from your life. And they will know this could only be God. You don't need to correct them. You don't need to announce your victory. Just keep walking. Your steps are sermons now. Every stride you take in peace preaches louder than 1,000 arguments ever could. What they see next will be undeniable. The ones who buried you will witness your bloom. The ones who whispered lies will hear heaven speak your name with favor. Stand tall, not in pride, but in gratitude. The story has turned. The same stage where you were misunderstood will soon become the altar of your testimony, and when they see it, they'll realize your rise wasn't revenge, it was revelation. You were never fighting them, only fulfilling prophecy through endurance. Chosen one. The tide is shifting again. The truth that once hid beneath layers of deception is now surfacing like light, breaking through deep water. The lies that tried to drown you have lost their oxygen, and what remains is clarity. You are stepping into the season of visible reversal, the moment when every whispered falsehood collapses under the weight of what heaven reveals. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet power rising within you. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You no longer flinch when your name is mentioned because you know that God Himself guards it. Every rumor has reached its limit. Every shadow that lingered around your life is being forced into the light. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 31, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" Those words aren't just comfort, they're declaration. Heaven is not only for you, it is with you. The same presence that once felt distant during your struggle is now surrounding you with peace. That's the evidence of victory, the calm that comes after divine justice moves. Think of a river after a storm. The water runs muddy for a while, carrying the debris of everything that was shaken loose. But slowly, the sediment settles. The water clears. You begin to see reflections again. That's where you are, clarity, returning after chaos. This season is not just about being vindicated, it's about being reintroduced. God is showing the world who you truly are, not by announcement, but by transformation. You won't need to say, "I told you so." The peace in your spirit will say it for you. There's a man named Aidan who once served quietly in his church. When accusations arose, he was removed from leadership, shunned by those who never sought the truth. Years passed. Aidan stayed faithful. He never retaliated. He just kept serving in the background. One day, new evidence surfaced, proving his innocence completely. The same leaders who dismissed him called him back. But Aidan smiled and said, "I don't need my old seat. God already gave me a higher one." That is the heart heaven is forming in you. Vindication will come, but it won't inflate you, it will ground you. You will not return for applause, you will walk forward for purpose. You might wonder why this all took so long. The delay wasn't punishment, it was construction. God was building your inner foundation so that when restoration came, it wouldn't crush you with weight you weren't ready to carry. The platform of truth must be built on humility, or it collapses under pride. Chosen one. Listen carefully. You're no longer in defense mode, you're in destiny mode. What once hurt you will now highlight you. People who once pitied you will now seek your counsel. They'll ask how you stayed calm when falsely accused, and your answer will draw them closer to the God who defended you. So when you see your name restored, when opportunities begin to flow again, hold this truth. Close vindication is not the reward, obedience is. What matters most is that you never lost your character while being tested. If this message finds you at that turning point where pain begins transforming into peace, then it's your moment to respond. Type in the comments, "Light wins." And that phrase carries weight. It's not just a reaction, it's a revelation. When you write, "Light wins," you are declaring that no matter how long darkness talked, Light always finishes the sentence. It's a public acknowledgement that you believe truth, not gossip, gets the final word, and heaven takes note of every such declaration. Your agreement aligns you with divine order, marking the end of confusion and the beginning of clarity. Because, chosen one, what's happening right now is not mere vindication, it's restoration with purpose. God isn't just clearing your name, He's commissioning your voice. You've passed through lies, and now you speak with the weight of experience. The same pain that once silenced you has become the anointing that gives your words power. This is the sound of reversal, the sound of truth, standing tall again. And as you move forward, remember, your story is no longer about what was done to you, but about what God did through you. You have become living proof that patience is not weakness, it is divine timing disguised. The strength to stay silent was your greatest weapon, and heaven has rewarded it with visible peace. Now, truth walks beside you, unhurried, unstoppable. Every step forward rewrites the memory of injustice, turning what once hurt into holy evidence of God's unfailing defense. Chosen one, the season of hiding has ended. You have walked through fire, through silence, through misunderstanding, and yet, here you are, still standing, still glowing. The truth has risen, and heaven is now placing you in full view. This is the part of your story where visibility becomes vindication. You don't need to speak. Your endurance has become the sermon. When God defends you, He doesn't send explanations, He sends elevation. He changes the atmosphere around your name. People begin to see what He always saw, and every lie fades like morning mist under sunlight. You are that light now, soft yet undeniable, humble yet radiant. As it was written in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 6, He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Those words are unfolding before your eyes. The same places where your reputation was questioned will now become the very platforms of your redemption. The same faces that turned away will be witnesses to your rise, not because you forced it, but because heaven arranged it. Imagine a garden after a long drought. The soil is cracked, the plants brittle, the air heavy with dust. Then, one day, clouds gather quietly, almost unnoticed. The first drops fall gently. Then steadily, the ground drinks again, and color returns. That's you, chosen one. Your soul is the soil, and these past months of silence were your drought. But now, grace is reigning again, and the roots that survived are coming alive. It's time to breathe again, to let your heart stretch wide and receive the joy that's been waiting for you. And while you do, take a moment to remember, you are not alone on this path. There are others, walking through their own storms, trying to find the light you now carry. That's why this message matters. Every time it reaches one more heart, another person realizes they're not forgotten. So if this word touches your spirit today, let your simple act become part of the miracle. When you press like, it's not a button, it's a candle lit in agreement, saying, truth still wins. When you share, it's like handing someone else a lantern, guiding them out of their own shadows. And when you subscribe, you're not joining a list, you're joining a living circle of faith, a family of souls rising together through grace. Each small act becomes a ripple of restoration, extending light further than you'll ever see. You never know who will stumble upon it, someone on the edge of giving up, someone who needs to hear what you just heard. And for those who feel stirred to go one step further, consider donating, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. Imagine a fire that has warmed you through a long, cold night. When you add a single log to that fire, you're not repaying warmth, you're ensuring the next traveler finds it too. Giving is not payment, it's partnership. It's the quiet decision to keep the flame alive for someone else. Every offering, no matter how small, becomes a whisper to heaven. Let the light keep burning. Whether you give or not, you belong here. Whether you support with words, time, or kiat, prayer, your presence matters. The beauty of this space is that it thrives on shared faith, not demand. No one is pressured here. Every act is pure choice. Every gift, an echo of gratitude. So, pause and listen to the peace settling over you, to the stillness replacing the ache. That peace is your confirmation. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Chosen one, your story has already begun to help others heal. The truth you lived through has become light for someone else's darkness. That's how heaven multiplies redemption. It never ends with one person. It flows like a river, carrying grace downstream. As you stand in this new clarity, hold your head high, but keep your heart low. Humility will keep you anchored as favor begins to flow. Don't rush to prove the past wrong. Let peace prove it for you. And if you feel led, like, share, subscribe, or donate. Do it as a celebration, not as a burden. Think of it as planting a tree in a desert that once held your tears. Someday, someone will rest in its shade and whisper, "Someone before me believed enough to plant." This is what it means to be part of something divine, not forced, not demanded, but freely given and beautifully shared. Chosen one. The light has come. Your name stands clear. Your path glows ahead. And heaven smiles not because you fought, but because you trusted. And now, the world will see what trust built when truth was all you had left. Chosen one. This is the table season, the one God promised when He said He would prepare a feast before you in the presence of your enemies. This is not a table of revenge, it is a table of revelation. You are not being rewarded because you fought well, but because you waited well. For a long time, it felt like you were forgotten, sitting in an invisible wilderness while others feasted on gossip and false stories. But while they were dining on deceit, heaven was preparing a meal of restoration with your name on it. Every delay was an ingredient. Every tear was salt in the recipe of your victory. Now the table is ready. It's not a place of pride, it's a place of peace. When God sets the table, He does not do it behind closed doors. He arranges it right where everyone can see, not to humiliate others, but to glorify His faithfulness. According to the writings in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." 1. That verse has always been about more than blessing. It's about visibility. The table is not about food. It's about recognition. Those who once doubted your calling will now see it confirmed before their eyes. The ones who said you'd never recover will have to watch you rise, not with arrogance, but with grace. It's a divine irony. Those who tried to starve your spirit will now see you fed by heaven itself. They will realize that the hand of God was on you all along. Imagine it, a long, radiant table stretching across a valley of memories. The cups are full, the light warm. Your name is engraved on the seat. Around you are the lessons, the scars, and the silent nights that once made you question your purpose. Now they sit as honored guests, reminders of what the fire taught you. You no longer eat from bitterness, you dine on peace. You sip from forgiveness and taste the sweetness of release. Everything that was bitter in your mouth is now turning to honey because the time for mourning has passed. Chosen one. Look around this table in your spirit. Notice who is absent. Those who could not celebrate you were not meant to sit here. This is a sacred meal reserved for those who walked through the valley with you, those who believed when the evidence said otherwise, and for heaven itself, which watched your endurance in silence. This feast is not for proving your worth, it's for proving His promise. And the oil the oil, it is not perfume for display. It is consecration for purpose. When God anoints your head, He's not decorating you. He's distinguishing you. That oil represents clarity after confusion, focus after wandering. It's a seal saying, "This one belongs to me." You will begin to notice that opportunities are finding you without effort. Conversations are aligning. Doors are opening. Timing is unfolding perfectly. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Each one whispers, "You're seated now. You've waited long enough." Do not gloat when those who hurt you come near. Some may return, not out of guilt, but because conviction draws them. Respond with grace. Feed them peace. Offer them kindness they don't expect. That is how the light wins. There's a story of a man named Jalen who was publicly shamed by his colleagues after false accusations. Years later, when truth emerged, the company called him back for an award ceremony. Standing on the stage, he looked at the crowd and said, "This is not my victory. This is God's reminder that patience still pays." Then he thanked even those who wronged him, saying, "You helped me learn to trust the silence." That's the posture heaven calls you to now. Gratitude, not gloating. Peace, not pride. When you sit at the table God sets, you realize the feast was never about food, it was about fulfillment. It's the moment your soul understands why the waiting was necessary. So eat slowly. Savor this moment. Every bite of peace has been seasoned by perseverance. Every sip of joy has been pressed from pain. This table, this feast, this oil, it all bears witness that you were never forgotten. Chosen one. This is your confirmation. The waiting was not wasted. Every accusation, every shadow, every delay led you here to the table of truth, surrounded by light, overflowing with grace. And as you rise from that table, remember, the feast was never about victory over them, but victory within you. You leave full, not just fed, but transformed by grace itself. Chosen one. The season of exposure is over. What once lived in the shadows has been judged by light. And now the curtain falls on every false narrative. Heaven has concluded the case. You stand free, not because you fought harder, but because truth fought for you. There is a softness in the air now, the kind that only comes after storms. You can almost feel heaven exhaling relief. Release. Restoration. The chaos has settled. The noise has faded. And what remains is peace, too heavy to be broken. The ancient words in the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 8. Declare, do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. Now, you lived that verse. You sat in the dark while others laughed. You endured whispers while heaven prepared vindication. And now, light doesn't just surround you, it comes from you. The same darkness that once tried to bury you has become the backdrop for your brilliance. Every hidden plot has been overturned. Every unseen word meant to harm you has turned into a stepping stone. The ones who tried to define you no longer have the authority to describe you. Heaven has rewritten your narrative with divine ink, bold, eternal, untouchable. This new chapter is called freedom. Not the kind you feel for a moment, but the kind that reshapes your identity. You no longer flinch when you hear your name. You no longer brace yourself for disappointment. The light in you has learned to live unbothered by darkness. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Selah, accused unjustly in her workplace. Lies spread quickly, her reputation sank. For months, she carried the shame of something she never did. One morning, she prayed not for revenge, but for peace. Within weeks, new leadership arrived. Old lies were exposed, and Selah was promoted higher than before. She said later, "I didn't climb back, I was lifted." And that's what divine justice looks like. It's quiet, yet complete. It doesn't announce itself with thunder. It arrives like sunrise, inevitable and undeniable. Chosen one. You are standing in that sunrise now. The waiting has been worth it. Every sleepless night, every misunderstood act, every quiet prayer, they have all been answered in this one word: restoration. You may still see fragments of the past, but don't stare too long. The light ahead is brighter than the shadows behind. Heaven doesn't recycle pain, it resurrects purpose. What was meant to crush you has instead crowned you with clarity. And now, as a prophetic act, mark this moment of completion. Write in the comments the number 444. This number carries sacred meaning. 444 symbolizes stability, divine order, and completion of cycles. It means what was once chaotic in your life has now been aligned by heaven's design. The doors that once shut are reopening in divine timing, not human effort. When you type 444, you are declaring, "My foundation is secure. My story is settled. My peace is protected." Let it be more than a number. It's a signature of faith, a quiet agreement that says, "I believe the work is finished." You are no longer reacting to lies. You are resting in truth. You no longer chase justice. You carry it. That's what freedom feels like. Not the absence of pain, but the absence of fear. And as this new peace unfolds, something beautiful will happen. Those who watched you suffer in silence will be drawn to your calm. They will ask how you kept your composure. You won't need eloquent answers. You'll simply say, "Because God never left me, even when it looked like He did." Not chosen one. This is not just an ending, it's an unveiling. You've become evidence that integrity always outlasts deception. You didn't lose anything that was meant for you. You were only delayed until the stage was set. Now, step forward lightly. You carry no residue of accusation, only the fragrance of grace. Every chain is broken. Every false word has returned to silence. And your peace is untouchable. You were not just cleared, you were crowned. So walk forward, not as someone escaping pain, but as one who has been transformed by it. The same wounds that once bled have become windows where heaven's light shines through. You are not broken, you are beautifully rebuilt. And when you look back, you will see that every delay, every betrayal, every false word was secretly building your throne of peace. This is what divine order feels like: quiet, unshakable, eternal. You have been fully restored, chosen one. Now the season of reversal has truly begun. The ground beneath your feet, once heavy with the weight of accusation, is now fertile with promise. Every word once used to tear you down has become material for your rebuilding. The same mouths that cursed you will soon have to acknowledge the goodness of God in your life. This is not coincidence, it is divine reversal in motion. There's a mystery in how heaven redeems time. You thought years were lost, moments wasted, dreams delayed beyond reach. But God does not return what was taken, He multiplies it. What was stolen in one season comes back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over in another. Reversal is not just restoration, it is reward. According to the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. No, that promise still stands. Heaven does not simply erase the evidence of loss, it transforms it into testimony. The areas where you were once broken will now become the strongest parts of your story. The places you wept will become the places you teach from. The pain that silenced you will become the voice that liberates others. Picture a tapestry. From the back, it looks chaotic: threads, tangled, colors colliding, no pattern at all. But when you turn it over, a masterpiece appears. That's your life right now. From the human side, it looked messy, unused, confusing. But from heaven's side, every twist, every knot, every delay was deliberate. The reversal you're experiencing is the tapestry turning your story, finally revealing its design. You've spent long seasons wondering why things had to break before they could build, why relationships had to end before peace could begin, why lies had to spread before truth could stand. Now you understand. The breaking was part of the birthing. There could be no crown without the crushing, no light without the fire, no elevation without the valley. There was once a man named Cale, a craftsman known for his woodwork. He built furniture that outlasted storms and time. One day, an apprentice asked him why he always worked with damaged wood instead of smooth, perfect pieces. Cale smiled and said, "Because wood that has endured pressure is stronger when it's restored. Its scars tell me where it will hold weight." Oh, that's exactly how God sees you. The cracks in your heart, the pressure points in your soul, they are not weaknesses. They are proof of endurance. God is building something through you that will hold more than it ever could before. You may not have noticed it yet, but your reversal began quietly. Small signs, subtle shifts, people treating you differently, peace arriving without reason, opportunities reappearing where there was once rejection. These are the first fruits of the harvest that pain planted, The field that once held disappointment is now glowing with promise. Reversal means that every weapon formed against you loses its power. But it also means something deeper. You begin to see purpose in everything that hurt. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Thank you." Because now you understand, you were not being buried, you were being rooted. Every tear you cried watered the very ground that now produces joy. Every closed door trained your patience for the right one to open. Every false word purified your motives. Heaven didn't just defend you, it developed you. Chosen one. Divine reversal is not about public recognition, it's about private revelation. It's when your soul finally aligns with heaven's rhythm, and you realize that nothing was wasted, not one heartbreak, not one delay, not one silent night. And here is the beauty of this stage. The same people who once pitied you will soon seek your wisdom. They will come asking, "How did you survive it?" And your answer will not be boastful, it will be healing. You will say, "Because I stopped fighting for attention and started trusting the author." Then, the reversal is not just happening around you, it's happening within you. Your thinking, your posture, your spirit. They've all shifted from survival to sovereignty. You're not reacting anymore, you're reigning, and that's what divine reversal truly means. Not that you rise above others, but that you rise above what once ruled you. You are no longer defined by injustice, you are defined by what you did with it. Look around your life with new eyes. What once looked like ashes now gleams like gold dust in the wind. That shimmer is heaven's fingerprint. It's the evidence that your story didn't end in defeat. It evolved into destiny. Chosen one. The great reversal has begun, and this time, you won't have to chase anything. Everything meant for you will find its way home. Chosen one. Now comes the chapter where mercy meets justice. Heaven has rendered its verdict, but it is not what many expect. The same power that cleared your name now calls you to extend grace to those who tried to stain it. This is where the story deepens, not with revenge, but with redemption. You've long awaited the day when truth would rise and silence every voice that lied about you. That day has come, yet now, God asks something higher of you, to forgive. To look at the faces of those who wronged you and see not enemies, but fragile souls, still learning the cost of their own actions. Forgiveness is the hardest miracle, because it demands surrender even when you were right. But it is also the most powerful, because it keeps you free when others remain chained by guilt. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 34, "For I will forgive their wickedness and will remember their sins no more." And if heaven, pure and holy, can choose to forget, who are we to keep rehearsing pain? Forgiveness does not mean agreement, it means release. You are no longer carrying the burden of what was done to you. You are handing it to the one who judges rightly and redeems completely. There's a quiet beauty in mercy. It's not loud, not dramatic. It moves like a breeze, soft, invisible, but powerful enough to shift the atmosphere. When you forgive, you join heaven's rhythm. You stop echoing pain and start echoing peace. There was once a woman named Marin, betrayed by her closest friend. For years, she avoided the thought of reconciliation, holding on to justified anger. One day, while praying, she felt the Spirit whisper, "You cannot rise while still holding their failure." That night, she wrote a letter not to demand, but to release. She never sent it. But her heart felt lighter. Days later, new opportunities opened. That's how forgiveness works. It unlocks doors the heart didn't know were closed. Chosen one, understand this. Mercy is not weakness, it's warfare. Every time you forgive, you wage war against bitterness. Every time you bless those who cursed you, you declare that the cycle ends with you. You refuse to let pain pass through your hands to another generation. It's easy to pray for justice. It's divine to pray for mercy. Justice changes circumstances. Mercy changes souls. As you walk through this stage, you'll feel two voices inside. One will whisper, "They don't deserve it." The other, softer voice, the one that sounds like peace, will say, "Neither did you, and yet grace found you." Choose the second voice. That's where freedom lives. Mercy does not erase boundaries, it rebuilds them with love. It means you can wish someone well without letting them wound you again. It means you can carry peace without reopening the door to pain. It's not pretending the betrayal didn't happen, it's choosing not to live inside it anymore. When you extend mercy, something miraculous happens. Heaven amplifies your light. The energy once spent on resentment becomes the energy that fuels your purpose. You stop walking backward and start soaring forward. Look at your journey, how far you've come. Every stage of pain brought you here, to this place of quiet strength. You've been through the court of lies, the furnace of refining, the silence of waiting, and the dawn of revelation. Now, you stand at the final threshold, the call to mercy. And though it feels unfair, it is sacred, because mercy is what makes vindication complete. Without it, victory feels hollow. With it, victory becomes healing. The greatest revenge you can ever experience is living free while others remain haunted by guilt. But heaven doesn't want you to stop there. It wants you to pray that even they find freedom. You see, mercy mirrors the heart of God. He doesn't just clear the innocent, He restores the guilty who repent. You, chosen one, are now invited to participate in that restoration, to let your life become evidence that light doesn't just conquer darkness, it transforms it. This is where heaven's justice becomes perfect, when the one who was wronged becomes a vessel of grace. The cycle ends with you. You will not pass down bitterness. You will pass down blessing. And when you do, you will feel a peace so deep it will surprise you. It will settle in your chest like sunlight after rain. And you will realize the story was never about proving who was right. It was always about revealing who chose love. So breathe, forgive, release. Because the hands that let go of pain are the same hands God fills with promise. Chosen one, you are walking in freedom now. The chains that once whispered shame have fallen away, and the path ahead is wide and clear. You've crossed through accusation and silence, through misunderstanding and waiting, and now heaven is calling you into movement again, not as the wounded, but as the witness. When God releases someone, He doesn't just open the door, He rebuilds the wings. What you lost in captivity, He restores in flight. This next part of your story is about walking as one who has been proven, not pitied. The labels they placed on you no longer fit. You are no longer defined by what happened to you, but by what grew within you. The apostle wrote in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 17, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom." You are that verse in motion. Your freedom is not loud. It hums softly beneath your steps. It's the peace that doesn't need to announce itself. The joy that doesn't depend on validation. Freedom is not the absence of struggle, it's the presence of purpose. You've stopped trying to prove and started simply being. The world around you will notice. They'll wonder how you still glow after being dragged through the dust. They'll ask why your voice sounds calmer, your eyes clearer. They'll sense something sacred, but can't name it. That's the mark of freedom. It's recognizable but undefinable. Imagine yourself as a lantern being carried through the night. You don't fight the darkness, you simply shine. The more you walk, the more others begin to see their path by your light. That's what this freedom does. It becomes contagious. It spreads without effort, without preaching. And if these words find you in that sacred moment, somewhere between gratitude and awe, pause. Let your heart whisper, "This is my exhale." And because now, you're not just receiving, you're radiating. You are the proof that endurance leads to enlightenment. And if this message reaches something deep within you, if it has been a mirror to your own unseen journey, then consider this. When you press like, you are not feeding an algorithm. You're lighting another lantern. You're saying, "I see myself in this light, and I choose to keep it glowing." End of. When you share, it's like opening a window in a room where someone else still struggles to breathe. You're letting fresh air of hope move beyond you, reminding another soul that night doesn't last forever. When you comment, you carve your initials into the wall of this testimony, leaving a mark that says, "I was here. I survived. And I still believe." Each word you write becomes part of the mosaic of faith being built here. And yes, for those who feel stirred in the quiet of your heart, you can give, not as obligation, but as offering. Think of it like pouring oil into a lamp that has already guided you through your storm. That small act ensures the flame continues for others still searching for light. Giving is worship, not transaction. It's the soul's way of saying, "What I have received, I choose to keep alive." No pressure, no demand. Just a gentle invitation to participate in the light that once found you, whether you give or simply stay and listen. You are part of something eternal. Every act of engagement, every like, every share, every prayer becomes a ripple in the river of grace flowing through these words. And when you subscribe, don't think of it as joining a page. Think of it as returning to a well. The same well that quenched your thirst once will always be here, refilled by faith, story, and spirit. You've walked through darkness and discovered light. Now, through every small act, you pass that light onward. No pressure, no demand, just the quiet beauty of shared purpose. Chosen one. This moment right now is sacred. You've moved from victim to vessel. Your life is no longer about surviving, it's about shining. If you've ever wondered whether your pain had purpose, this is the answer. You were refined for this very moment to be a voice of calm, a keeper of truth, a light for those who still stumble through shadow. So as you move forward, do it with peace. Let every act, every word, every choice be your song of gratitude, because the story that once hurt you has now become the story that heals others. And this quiet ripple of hope we create together is how the chosen ones walk free. And when you look back, you'll realize every click, every whisper of faith, Every quiet act of giving was never small. It was sacred. A seed that kept light alive. Chosen one, your voice is changing. It no longer trembles from fear or strain. It carries the calm authority of someone who has seen both storms and sunrise. What once was silenced by accusation has now become a sound. Heaven trusts steady, healing, true. You are stepping into the season where your story becomes strength for others. Every chosen vessel carries two things, a scar and a message. The scar proves endurance. The message proves purpose. What you endured was never for shame. It was training for testimony. You are being positioned as a voice for those who still sit in the shadow of lies. For those whose names are still being dragged through misunderstanding. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, reminds us, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." That is you. You stood the test. You didn't let bitterness rewrite your identity or fear distort your calling. And now, heaven is placing words in your mouth that carry weight. When you speak, others will listen, not because you shout, but because you understand. You have learned that truth doesn't have to prove itself. It waits, like sunrise, patient and inevitable. That patience has become your power. You speak differently now, not to be heard, but to heal. Every sentence born from your pain will carry oil for someone else's wounds. There was a man named Ryan who had once been falsely accused, publicly shamed, and stripped of everything he built. After years of silence, he began to share his story quietly, helping others who faced injustice. He never sought revenge, yet his voice reached places his accusers could never go. One day, he said, "I thought my pain was a prison, but it became a pulpit." No, that is your transformation too. Your voice, refined through hardship, is now an instrument of light. It carries the resonance of resilience, the kind of tone that cuts through despair. You don't have to force it. Your presence already preaches. Chosen one. Heaven is making you a messenger of integrity in a world addicted to noise. Your calm will convict. Your consistency will teach. Your story will remind others that silence in the fire doesn't mean absence of faith. It means trust in timing. You are becoming a mirror for many, reflecting what hope looks like after humiliation, what peace looks like after pain. When people encounter you, they won't just see survival, they'll feel restoration. Think of your journey as a song. In the beginning, it was a minor key, haunting, heavy, unfinished. But now, the melody has shifted. The rhythm has changed from lament to praise, from pleading to peace. Every note tells the truth. What once broke you now builds you. Your voice doesn't need to fill stadiums, it just needs to reach hearts. The words you carry are not for applause, they're for awakening. You will speak, write, create, comfort, and each act will ripple farther than you imagine. Heaven amplifies humble voices because they echo eternity without distortion. This is why the enemy fought your voice so hard, because he knew once you healed, your sound would heal others. Lies tried to silence you because truth terrifies darkness. But now, every word you release becomes a light beam, cutting through confusion, reminding people that restoration is real. Your role is not to be perfect, it's to be present. to show up in honesty, to tell your story without shame, to let others know that holiness and humanity can coexist. You don't have to pretend strength. You only need to speak truth. And as you do, remember, the same God who vindicated you will sustain you. The power that lifted you will keep you steady. You are not returning to the world as you were. You are being reintroduced as who you've become. The very gift they tried to discredit will now carry the sound of deliverance. You will speak peace where gossip once echoed. You will bring clarity where confusion ruled. And without even realizing it, your consistency will expose falsehoods without confrontation. You are a living letter written by grace, readable, relatable, radiant. Your story doesn't belong to pain anymore. It belongs to purpose. Chosen one. Use your voice wisely, not to retaliate, but to rebuild, not to impress, but to impart. You are the proof that endurance is not silent suffering, it is sacred preparation. From now on, when you speak, heaven nods. The same angels who once guarded your silence now guard your message. Every word you release carries the fragrance of what you survived. You are not an echo of pain, you are the sound of peace. Chosen one. The story ends where it began, in light. Not the flickering light of fragile hope, but the steady glow of fulfilled promise. The lies that once gathered around your name have fallen silent, and what remains is truth, standing tall, clothed in calm authority. This is the full circle of redemption, when pain no longer defines you but becomes the frame that displays God's glory through you. You have walked a long path, from accusation to silence, from fire to freedom, from waiting to witnessing. Every step has led you here. And now heaven crowns your journey with peace that can no longer be shaken. The noise of the past cannot reach this altitude. You are living above the echo now, breathing in air too pure for bitterness to survive. As recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. That is where you stand, before a door flung wide by grace. Not a door of opportunity alone, but of identity. You are not the same person who first stepped into the fire. Your heart has been remade, your vision refined. The lies that once seemed louder than truth now serve as background music to a greater melody, one written in heaven long before any word was spoken against you. This open door is not about escaping your past. It's about walking into the version of you that your pain prepared. The version that trusts faster, forgives quicker, and shines brighter. Because darkness once tried to hide you. Think of gold after it leaves the furnace. It does not boast about surviving heat. It simply glows. Evidence that the fire was real and necessary. That is you. You carry no need to prove, nor desire to defend. You exist as living proof that God finishes what He starts. Now the lies crumble completely, not through confrontation, but through contrast. The more you live in peace, the less their memory matters. Truth does not argue with rumor. It outlasts it. Time becomes your ally. Grace becomes your guardian, and even silence becomes your song. Look around your life now. The people who remain are not random. They are refined with you. Those who left were never meant to walk past the fire's edge. The emptiness they left behind has become sacred space. Room for new voices, new callings, new peace. There is a clarity that only comes after chaos. You begin to see patterns that once looked like pain, but were actually precision. You realize that rejection was redirection, that waiting was protection, that even loss was instruction. Everything aligns under heaven's penmanship. There was a young woman named Isra, who spent years misunderstood by those she tried to serve. She never stopped showing kindness, though she often cried when no one saw. One day, she told a friend, "I finally understand I wasn't meant to clear my name. I was meant to clear my heart." That understanding became her freedom. From then on, her peace spoke louder than her defense ever could. That same revelation now rests on you. The lies no longer belong to you. They belong to yesterday. Your peace belongs to tomorrow. Chosen one. The light around you now is not just your own. It's heaven reflecting from within. You've become a mirror of divine endurance, a living testimony that faith outlasts falsehood. Every scar, every silence, every sigh has been rewritten into a symphony of strength. When people meet you now, they won't sense your wounds, they'll sense your wisdom. You carry the rare serenity of someone who's seen the valley and didn't lose their vision. You'll walk through rooms and atmospheres will shift, not because of words, but because of the weight of peace you carry. The great collapse of lies has already happened. What's rising from the dust is not vengeance, it's vision. You see clearly now. You discern quickly. You love deeply, but wisely. The fire didn't just purify your name, it purified your discernment. This is your coronation by truth. The crown is not made of gold, but of light, the same light that once flickered in your darkest hours. It now rests on your head, steady, sure, declaring, "This one belongs to truth." And so, your story settles not with noise, but with knowing. Every false word fades, every wound closes, and every promise blooms. You stand in the stillness of fulfillment, wrapped in the glow of divine defense. The lies have crumbled, the trial has ended, and grace has had the final word. You are crowned not by the world's applause, but by heaven's whisper, "Well done, faithful one." Chosen one. If you have walked with this message until now, pause and feel what heaven has done inside you. The lies have fallen, peace has settled, and your name stands clean in light. What began as pain has become purpose, and what once wounded you now shines as your witness. You are not just hearing this story, you are this story. So if these words have met you where silence once lived, let your heart respond freely. When you press like, imagine it as lighting a candle on the altar of truth, saying, "I am still here," and light still wins. When you share, it's as if you open a window in another soul's dark room, letting the air of grace flow where it's needed most. Someone you've never met might find their hope again through your one small act. When you comment, your words ripple outward, becoming echoes of faith for others who need to know they are not alone. Even a few syllables of sincerity can steady another trembling heart. And if gratitude stirs deeper, if you've drawn peace from these messages, then your donate is not a duty. It's a drop of oil in the lamp that keeps this flame alive. Our gift, no matter its size, becomes part of the light that continues reaching souls still lost in shadow. Finally, when you subscribe, think of it not as following a page, but as returning to a sacred well. Each visit draws fresh strength, fresh peace, fresh clarity for your spirit. You are part of something larger than words, a quiet constellation of hearts who refuse to let darkness have the final say. Thank you for carrying the light forward. The story lives on through you.